Welcome to the Vet to Vet podcast. I'm your host, Bill Fitters. Joining me as I talk to fellow veterans about their military experiences from Vietnam to Operation Enduring Freedom. This podcast is sponsored by Tugs, talking, understanding, growing, and supporting. Even big ships need a little help sometimes. Feel free to hit the subscribe button below to get our latest Vet to Vet interview. Feel free to like, share, and leave a comment below. And thanks for joining us. We're sitting down today with Marine Corporal Allen Morris. How are we doing today, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Let's start off with what life was like for Corporal Morris prior to getting in the military.
Prior to getting in the military, well, I went right out of high school, so you know what any idiot kid in the Midwest does. Try not to get in trouble. But no, I, high school at Orfordville here, and did lots of sports: football, basketball, golf, track, all that fun stuff. Pretty much anything I could do: band, jazz band, show choir band, anything I could do to be busy. I worked a lot. Just didn't want to be bored.
And it's easy to do in a small town. Trust me, mine was 800 and something. So I hear you.
Well, it's either that or get in trouble because you're doing stuff you're not supposed to. So
right. Because I hear you. So what year did we enlist, and what year did we go to basic?
So I went into the DEP program, which is kind of weird. It's just DEP, I guess, not DEP program. That'd be delayed entry program. But I went into that. I signed up August of 2004. Was in that for a year, and then went to boot camp. Left August 1st of 2005. Okay.
And where do we go to basic at?
We're one of the few states that goes from the east side of the Mississippi that goes out to San Diego. So I was out, all the way out there in Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, watching the planes take off every night.
So a Hollywood Marine
I didn't want to say that.
I'll say it for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And how was basic?
Not terrible, actually. For me, it was, I can't say easy because it wasn't easy, but I was prepared for the mental aspect of it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Which I think that's what a lot of people aren't prepared for.
Right.
So, I was prepared for the yelling, the screaming, as much as I was prepared, I had no clue.
Right.
But I was ready for it. I kind of knew from previous friends of mine who had gone in and stuff. But it wasn't terrible. I was one of the first people to actually ask a question because, I had to use the restroom, and most people are too scared. I was more scared of peeing my pants than scared of the drill instructors. So
right.
I figured I'll be the first one to do it, I guess. It went pretty well. A lot of sleepless nights, I should say.
Yeah.
For the most part, pretty, I can't say uneventful. Just, I guess it's standard boot camp, getting yelled at, getting smoked on the quarterdeck, getting too close to a drill instructor and getting adjusted. I think the most notable thing that happened for me at boot camp was we had a kid getting IT on the quarterdeck. And he later complained that he got hit or kicked by the drill instructor. And of course, that launches a whole investigation. And the first night of the Crucible, three me and two other guys got called to be interviewed by the legal department to basically corroborate what happened. What did you guys see? Because we're the first row right there, so we had a direct view of what was going on. And as much as we did not like that drill instructor, and he was not a nice guy, which they're not meant to be, but he was kind of above and beyond what he needed to be.
Right.
We liked this kid even less. So
who got voted off the island?
Yeah, he kind of got voted out of the island. He was one that anything he could complain about, anything he made our life miserable because he would complain. And then, of course, then it got taken out on the rest of us.
Right.
So we were happy to throw him under the bus. Yeah, he got kicked out, but the whole golf company got restructured. With the drill instructor, there's some moving around of drill instructors and stuff after that. So it's kind of interesting, but yeah. So instead of getting the 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep we would have gotten the first night of the Crucible, we didn't get anything. So.
Oh wow. Yeah,
fun.
That would make friendships kind of sour real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Crumride were not happy, and Crumride was a big guy. So,
yeah. All right, and then we finish basic, and where do we go from there?
So for the Marines, if you're not going in as a grunt, if you're not going as 0311 or 0300 in general, you go to Marine Combat Training (MCT), which for me again was back out at Camp Pendleton. I think it's Camp Geiger on the East Coast, but back out there for 3.5 weeks of combat training. We've already, done our rifle quals, learned all the stuff about rifles, make fun of the Army. We're not, walking around our school of training with little BFAs on our rifles. We actually go and do it. But, we're doing squad patrols, securing buildings, taking buildings, that we're doing the whole city, urban landscape thing, learning all of that, stacking on doors, all that fun stuff that a rifleman should know, because as everyone knows, Marines are riflemen first. So did that for 3.5 weeks. That was not as fun because I got in trouble. So
all right, what do we get in trouble for?
Well, I won't be able to say the whole thing, but so the movie Three Kings?
Yes.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. And somebody was being very racist towards people of the Middle East.
Okay.
And using the sand
N-word. Yeah.
Yes, that. And I was like, it triggered the movie in my head. And I said, hey, that's not an okay word use. And I listed off like he does in the movie. These are acceptable terms. Well, one of the staff sergeants overheard me and then said, you've lost your liberty. Basically you've lost your liberty privileges, this, just going to town. And you're not going on patrol. You're going to be doing squad rushes. And I was like, just hammering me with all this stuff. I was like, it's one of the few times I went, I'm going to throw this idiot under the bus because I was quoting a movie. He was being racist. So I threw him under the bus and said, well, he said, and everyone went, so then we both got in trouble.
Oh, nice.
Because it didn't make it any better for me.
Right.
But we did squad rushes. So, you ever been to Camp Pendleton?
No, I have not.
Okay. So it's mountains. And we had to do squad rushes to the water bowl, which is the big tanker of water, which was 3 mountain tops away, all the way over. So down the hill, up the hill, down the hill, and back up. And back. And I think we did that 4 times. I'll admit, I started cheating. As soon as we were out of sight, as soon as we were out of his sight, we just started like running. Like, he can't see us, just run. And then we'd sit and take a breather for a second and be like, all right, we should be here by now. And then we'd start again. It's like, we're done. Like, I can't run anymore. We got the full 110, 20-pound pack on, plus our rifle. And luckily it was November in California, so it wasn't blasting hot.
Right.
Still warm. The worst part out there at that time is it's very warm during the day, and then at night, especially when you're in the mountains, because it's all that cold air it just comes flying down out of the mountains in the evening, and it sucks.
Now, is that the hill that's referred to as Mount MF, I guess?
Mother Effer?
Yeah, that one.
Mother Effer? Yeah. No, that is there, though.
Okay. Because I got buddies that told me.
Yeah, you come off Ocean. If you come in through, if you come in through Oceanside, the Oceanside gate, Pendleton, when you get to the first part of the actual base where there's building stuff, that's just off to the distance. And you don't realize, I remember we went on a couple hikes to that, and actually went up it and all that kind of stuff. And our big 20-mile hump is the one that we hit it. But you don't realize how big it is, because it's like, it's like right there.
Right.
It's like, it's big, but we watched a guy running one weekend, and he just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're like, wow, friggin' big is this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of throws you for holy crap, that's huge.
Yeah.
But it's more, it just keeps going more than it is steep. It's just keeps going.
Yeah. Unreal.
Yeah. The only time I got any.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, bud. Well, the only time I got any. I know there's a little delay. But the only liberty I got while I was there was for Thanksgiving. Actually, they do an Adopt a Marine program.
Okay.
So what I did is basically you sign up, and then some family comes and like adopts you for the day. Well, since we're in training, they pair us up. And in California, we had to wear the woolly bullies.
Yeah, hot.
Woolly bullies, just terrible things. But I remember getting in. This guy comes, picks me and another guy up. We're driving down. What's the main highway there in California?
I always think of Sunset Boulevard, but I don't think.
Right. No, it's the main, like, whatever the one that's always backed up is.
Okay.
But anyway, we get in his car, and he's driving us, and we're talking with him. Nice Hispanic guy. And we're driving, and we're driving, and we're driving, and we're driving. And I start to see signs for Tijuana, 15 miles. Border, 11 miles. I'm just like, where are we going? Like, finally, he pulls off. Like, obviously that was awesome. Your dew bottle is green. Yeah. But yeah, we finally get to where we're going, and it was really nice. Nice family. Of course, being young and dumb, they had a daughter. So me and the other guy were trying to like flirt with her without being flirty with her, because we're dumb. That was the only fun thing.
So I hear you.
Right. Yeah, we're 18. We don't know any better.
Right.
So, But yeah, that was the only fun thing I think we got to do, or I got to do, I should say. Everyone else got to go like the ocean side and do stuff on the weekends. I got stuck in the barracks and electrocuted myself once. Um, but the good reason for electrocuting myself, and any electricians, I think, you had Carl on, he'll probably look at this and just Jesus. So the big fans that you get in the barracks, like those big fans,
like barn fans here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, big barn fans basically, but on a stand. Yeah,
right.
That was all we had for cooling. They didn't have AC in these barracks, so it's hot. We're warm. You got 80 guys in there. It's really hot and stinky. It just smelled to high heaven. And most guys didn't. I think they lost their mind at boot camp. Like, they forgot that you can at night, like, you can shower. It's okay. Like, you don't have to be told to go shower. They didn't get that memo. They thought we were still doing it by the numbers. But so yeah, the fan was broken. The prongs, the two prongs on there, one was snapped off. Well, IP scissors are conductive, nice metal. And I started fashioning one. I snapped one in half and started fashioning the piece to basically replace the plug. I like hollowed out a spot for the scissor to go in next to the metal that was still there. And, and I'm doing all this, and somebody goes, well, how do you know it's conductive? I had both pieces in my hand. I shoved it in the socket.
Oh, no.
Floored myself. I'm sitting on the floor. I hit it, and I just flat on my back. Just, it works.
Right.
And, why wouldn't you do that? I mean, there's,
yeah, you got to try it,
I mean, how else are you supposed to know if it's working or not?
Right. There's power.
Again, 18, not very bright, very bright.
We learn as we go.
Yep.
So we're out of Pendleton,
but yeah,
for training and playing with electricity.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Learn all about the fun, science of electricity. Yeah. Then, so after that, we go to, after you're done with combat training, and you go to your MOS school, School of Instruction, SOI for the grunts and everything. But so for me, it was 0151, which is administrative personnel. Now it's all one thing. They've combined everything. But that is out at Camp Johnson on Camp Lejeune. It's on like the back side of Camp Lejeune, very near where they artillery range is. So you get to hear that every morning.
Okay.
It's fun the first time you wake up to that.
So we're going from the
artillery
West
shells
Coast
going
to the
off.
East Coast, right?
Yep. So all from the West, all the way over to the East Coast. Yep.
Okay. All right.
I was stuck there for quite a while because holidays and no new schools were starting, and I was the odd man out basically. So I got stuck at first being what is like, for 2 weeks I did this cleanup. Basically, I was the janitor. I was like the janitor, like me and a couple guys. Then they're like, well, we got all these people. We're starting a new program. So all the people who were the janitors before me and who were the camp security, they're going to go into this class, and then you guys are going to. So I got stuck for like 2 months there. It was just sucked. But I ended up doing camp security, moved over to camp security. Also got in trouble there. God dang, I got in trouble a lot. But that we actually guard the Beirut Memorial.
Okay.
Outside the gate, and then some odd, weird places. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's really weird walking around like the arcade with an M16 rifle, because you're camp security, and like, why would what are they gonna do? Somebody getting too rowdy at the arcade,
right?
But that fun one, I got in trouble for making an MRE bomb.
Interesting.
So the sergeant, that was he had like just gotten back from Afghanistan, so not doing so well. But somebody was like, I don't know, I was talking about making my staff sergeant at MCT made these MRE bombs. I'm like, yeah, it's really easy to do. I'll show you. And I had somebody go and buy a La Bleu water bottle. Don't use these. They're terrible for this. And I fill it with a whole packet from the MRE. Dump the water in, seal the cap. I toss it. It should have blown immediately. Like most water bottles would just poof, and it wouldn't have been a big boom, just a poof,
Right.
It's not going. Okay, maybe dead, inert, stuff. Like walk over and I kind of like with my foot just touch it. It's rock solid. It's not like the pressure in it is completely built. I'm like, oh shit. So I kick it away from everybody. And it sounded like a mortar shell going off. It was terrible. The cap flew off, went through the fire department window in a perfect circle. And there was no material, like the bottle was gone. There was nothing to clean up.
Wow.
Everybody scattered. Cockroaches just
right.
The sergeant had like he heard it and literally hit the deck.
Oh,
like it was. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He comes flying through. Who the did that? And he's screaming. Everybody's just don't know what you're talking about. We're all at our bunks, just fine. It wasn't any. And the one kid, he goes up to him. Who did it? He ratted me out so fast, and he was the kid who asked me to do it.
Oh no, yeah, one of them.
So yeah, I got we'll say nudged into a locker with a hand around the clavicle area. And then I was on duty for 48 hours straight after that. And then that kid got roasted for the next month. So
fair trade.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 48 hours, whatever. That's fine. But after, so finally I get to the, all that stuff. I get to my MOS school. That's boring as all get out. I ended up being top of my class there. And I got to choose my duty station. And this expeditionary warfare training group in Atlantic. And I'm like, oh, it's in Norfolk. I get to go on ships. Don't trust people. They're like, yeah, you're gonna get to go on ships. No, it's you get stuck in an office with like 2 windows, which I was lucky we had windows, so that was nice.
But do they face ships?
I see from Gator Boulevard. No, it faces the golf course.
So that is just a downright dirty thing, man.
Yeah, let's see. There's the empty field, School of Music, barracks, golf course. Yep. So yeah, the ships. You could see the amphibs, the LHCs, LCH. Can't remember exactly what they were, but yeah, the amphibs there. You could see them if you looked out to the north, technically.
Okay.
But yeah, fun place. I had a lot of fun there. I got to do a lot of fun stuff, I should say. So being stuck and admin, it's not really much you can do.
Yeah.
Kind of boring, but I went and did. I basically, once I found out that just doing the mediocre, just doing your job is not going to really get you anywhere, and it's not that fun because you're always underneath somebody else. I was like, well, how do I not be that? And it was learn everything, be better than all the, not better, but know it better, or at least know where to look it up.
Right.
So yeah, I moved up quite quickly from there. I volunteered myself for everything I could. Our honor guard that we had that did like college graduations and college graduations, retirement ceremonies, change of command ceremonies. I think we did the change of command and the welcome home for SEAL Team 4. Yep, 4. Sorry, I had the challenge going. So that Hearst Master, doing the rappel stuff, which is how I hurt my back, but gas chamber, anytime the JROTC kids would come in, we do gas chamber stuff. We do different, showing them how, stuff that we do. So I volunteered for all that, anything I could do. And then trying to take our command from the 80s, because we still had a typewriter with the remember on the side you used to have to rip the paper off in the printer?
Oh yeah.
Like your typewriter. Yeah. So yeah, that typewriter had the little turning knob with the thing. So when you got done, you had to rip that off. So still had one of those.
Oh my.
So yeah, trying to, take our command a little bit better. We failed IG inspection, MCAT, all these, administrative inspections, like the first 2 years I was there. And then when I got promoted to corporal, I still didn't know enough, I found out, because all of a sudden I was in charge of everybody. I was the NCOIC. Well, here I'm an NCOIC trying to tell people who've been doing their job for 2 years that I don't know how to do their job. That's not fun. Because then again, what happens if you're the boss, they screw up, you hand the work to your boss and they go, oh, why is this screwed up? It's not their fault.
Right.
Your fault.
Right. Got it.
So I spent a lot of time. I was usually there 05, 30, 0600. I don't think I left till 1900 on most nights.
Yeah.
Just learning. I did my job, my work before everyone got in, during lunch, and after, and I just focused on their work in between. So, but it worked. I mean, we passed the IG inspection in the top 3% of the Marine Corps, and then the MCAT I want to say we were in the top 1% of all admin offices for inspection. So
nice.
It paid off.
Yeah.
But also there's a point where being too good at your job is not a good thing.
Right.
I tried to deploy.
It's called welcome to being on the radar.
Yeah. I tried to deploy 3 times. First time, I didn't know my job well enough. Okay, learned my job. But then I tried again. They're like, well, you don't know admin well enough. Okay, so then I got promoted and I learned admin. And I tried to deploy again. They're like, well, we need you here because we have inspections coming up. And I'm like, but they know how to do it. I've trained them. Like, I'm leaving at the end of the summer anyway. Like, technically at that point, I still hadn't decided whether I was staying in or getting out. And I was basically trying to extend my contract through the next year so I could potentially stay in if I wanted to.
Right.
No, they're like, no, we need you here. So that was fun. So yeah, don't be too good at your job.
Right.
Be irreplaceable, but not, totally. If that makes sense.
Right.
And then, I did. See that. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else there. then yeah, then after that, I ended up extending. I tried to stay in. That didn't work out very well. My career planner was okay. Just a little slow sometimes. I don't think him and the moderators were synced up very well.
Okay.
I tried to stay in as a linguist, uh, and different things like that, where it was a very technical skill, and I did all the testing and did all the stuff to pass. And by the time it all got sent in, nope. Um, and then
we froze there for a second, but
yeah, I saw that. Where do you want me to?
No, I could hear you. You sent it in.
You want me to go back?
Nope.
Oh,
so we got there.
Yep. No boat spaces left. No more spaces left, which is the issue I was having with administrative, because they combined 0121, personal administration and administrative personnel. One does orders, one does like SRBs. We all did the same thing. So we did that. I tried to do a couple other ones, and then the one had a sign-on bonus of like $50K.
Oh, nice.
So even for active duty, like if we changed MOSs, we get. I was like,
you're in super slow-mo mode. See if this helps.
sweet. We back?
We're back.
Okay. It says unstable internet connection. So yeah, I decided I was going home, and I think it was like the Monday before I was like set to leave. The career planner, hey, the space opened up for that job. And I was like, oh, is there still a sign-on bonus? Because I'd put a bunch of money down to go home. And they're like, oh, no, it's gone. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm just I'm out. Thanks, though. Partly because like, I would have lost out on a couple grand at that point. But also it was more I had prepared myself to go home. I had sent all my stuff over to the local college. I was ready, So yeah, that was kind of what happened there. But and I will say is I didn't get in trouble very often there. It's probably the one place I didn't. I just kept busy. I was on the golf team, the command's golf team. I was in the command volleyball team. I was not good enough to be in the command basketball team. Tried. I thought I was good, No, not at all.
Yeah, that, and you were focused on your job a lot too.
Yeah, I spent once I learned my job, I actually worked a second job off base to help pay for my Jeep addiction. I had a 93 Jeep Cherokee that I put so much work into. I lifted it, a whole bunch of coolers and body work and engine work, and I spent way too much money. Basically, almost every dollar I made at Advanced Auto Parts working there, I spent at Advanced Auto Parts.
Right. So they got their money back.
Exactly. And then so I don't know what else you would want to know. I mean, see the.
So what was your takeaway then from active duty? I know you've seen Kurt and Carl's and some of the other guys, and they talk about the importance of getting things documented while you're in for when you're out.
Yes, that is very important. So I mentioned I hurt my back
Yeah.
Among other things that I heard. And when I first got in and was in fleet there, it was, I'm fine. I'm good.
Right.
But then I remember I tore my hamstring. I got, so that was the first time I actually dealt with medical, and I realized it's actually not that bad to have this stuff on record.
Right.
It's not hurting me in any way, especially the fact that I was on light duty for 5 months because I couldn't run.
Right. Right.
So, and of course the command, I forget what department that's called. Basically, they're in charge of make sure everyone's not fat and pass their PFTs, CFTs, all that fun stuff. So they were like, "Oh, you gotta do this, otherwise you're gonna, you're at risk of getting kicked out." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." here's medical. No, I'm not. I'm on track of where I'm supposed to be. And then the hearse doing the rappel tower. I didn't get the person who was supposed to stop the rope, stop me from falling. I was demonstrating to the ROTC kids that, it's fine. If you fall, they'll catch you. He didn't quite catch me. I slid, not at full speed, thankfully, because I was about 30 feet up, somewhere in there, 30, 40 feet. And came down and right on luckily my feet hit first, but then hit my tailbone and just compressed my low back.
Yeah.
And that was, so made I hurt my ankles, made my knees that were already kind of shot worse. And then, it really messed up my low back. My wife can attest, me getting up in the morning is like listening to an 80-year-old try to sit up right, because it just, if I've been laying there in the same position, it doesn't want to move.
Yeah. Locking up like the Tin Man.
Yeah. So luckily I went and got all that documented, and the knees, the back and everything. And it didn't affect, younger me.
Right.
I'm good. I can run through the pain. I can do all my stuff. Well, of course that's terrible to do, but you're in the military, that's kind of your job. So it's either that or get a other than honorable discharge for medical. So it's just, you're gonna push through it. But that's paid off when I finally applied for my VA insurance. All that documentation definitely paid off to have, because it's like 50, it's like 20% per leg. My back, my hearing, which I had to go 3 different times to get that tested, because they're like, "Oh, your hearing's fine." I'm like, "My hearing is not fine. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't hear out of my right ear." And if it wasn't for the fact that I absolutely hate lawyers who do the whole like, "Hey, if you were in the military from this time to this time and you used the 3M earplugs," I was like, if I didn't hate those lawyers, I would have done that, because I'm quite sure that's why.
Yeah.
My hearing is shot in my right ear. You've got your cheek sitting down. Your ear is actually resting against the buttstock, the butt of the rifle, especially the older, the old M16s, the A1s. That's right up against there, and that, pretty sure that's what did it. But all of it combined, I have a much higher rating than most people, but that's because I had it documented, and I was smart enough before I got out, and I would recommend this to anybody watching if you're active duty. Go to medical before you get out and make copies of all of your records. I have a 100% copy of my dental and medical record from when I was in, because it's not that you can't trust them, but things get lost. I know it's all electronic now, but get a copy.
Well, they still got some stuff that's missing from the fire from St. Louis or someplace like that had a fire. So a lot of guys' medical records are gone. So
Yep.
yeah, that's a great idea. Right before you get out or what have you, is to get a copy of your medical record, just so you have it on hand. And
Mhm.
you and I both know people that you know, didn't really take advantage of medical to I shouldn't say take advantage, but didn't go to medical. They did the push through it, not gonna talk about anything. And today they're fighting like hell with Uncle Sam to get what's owed to
Yeah, because you're trying to prove something that, well, there's no history of it. What are you talking about?
them. Right.
And a big one, and I'm happy the VA is really getting on this, is the mental health.
Yes. Yeah.
You can go and talk. We had a kid who had issues. It didn't affect it. He's still in. He's a he is a gunnery sergeant actually, and he went and talked to a therapist. He went and did all that. Some of the stuff that he's seen and saw while he was in. Um, so yeah, I mean, it as long as it's not affecting your work,
Right.
you get it documented. Because I mean, in the long run, that can help you. Like I'm sure when he gets out, that'll be something that he'll be able to have at the VA because he has record of it. Um, it's
They can't fix what they don't know.
exact, and they can't. And the VA, it's ran by the government. It's funded by the government, so they. It's like anything where it's not for profit yet it's limited funding. They have to put they have to stop it somewhere. So
Right.
if you don't have documentation, you're going to be the one who gets stopped, and that sucks. And I think I've talked with Kurt before, and I think you were with me when we were talking about, uh, you know, for a while there, nobody got anything.
Right.
Then the millennials started getting out going, well, this is BS. And we put up a stink. And then everybody started getting it. And now they've kind of swung back. For a while there, they swung back the other way of, well, nobody's going to get it.
Yeah. And then I was talking with another veteran, not anybody you would know, and he was saying sleep apnea is a big
Yeah.
that they're on right now. And he is hoping they look into that a little bit deeper, because a lot of people have sleep apnea, whether they were in the military or not.
Yeah. It's way more common than people think, but there's a lot of, there's some studies about like stressors and like how I did a sleep study while I was in actually. Somebody was doing a thing at Old Dominion University, and Old Dominion, yep. And where basically they were testing like different demographics on how they sleep, and of course the military was a prominent one.
Yeah.
They wanted to see like, well, how has all our training and everything affected how we sleep, our rhythm of sleeping? Because it should be a kind of a wave of light sleep to REM to deep and back, back and forth. Mine, and it sounds, from what I understood from a lot of military people, it's you're dead. Like you kind of like you're not asleep, and you're deep sleep. You stay there for like a couple hours,
almost comatose.
Yeah, and then you might come out of it into REM, but you almost never hit light sleep, which is not good, especially for your breathing, your and everything. So there's some thought there as to maybe that could be, I think it was before sleep apnea was a huge deal. Obviously, this is late 2000s, but I think maybe that study might be something that could help people, because I know my wife makes fun of me because she hates it. She'd be like, you can sleep anywhere. I'm like, yeah, like literally we get done with this call, I could probably fall asleep in this chair in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, but you were up
Right.
for a while last night, as we talked.
Yeah, true. But I mean, like, but it's just, like she'll find me in the weirdest positions, just passed out. And like, how is that comfortable? I'm like, oh, it's not, but I was tired.
Yeah,
No.
I think a lot of that, as you were talking about the straight line and then the dip off, uh, may have something to do with garbage cans being thrown down the barracks.
Being able to sleep with all the other noise going on around you, and
being able to just block it out and go into, I fell asleep in Turkey up on we were in mop conditions, and I was on a ventilation system inside of a bunker, and just out. You just learn to, when you can sleep, you're going to sleep no matter where
sleep.
you're at. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the thing. It's like even 5 minutes doesn't matter. But if you can get down to that deep sleep, 5 minutes can be really nice.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
So
in mop gear, it's really easy because
because the nice you're warm and just yeah.
especially
It's well, it's like deer hunting. I almost always fall asleep. Because it's cold and you get all like, and all of a sudden you're warm,
yeah.
and then you're just out. I've probably missed more deer than I've ever seen.
I've got a lot of good sleep during deer hunting. I can say that.
Yeah, surprisingly, for how cold it is, it's like, like I wake up feeling pretty good.
Yeah, pretty refreshed.
Yeah, well, that was nice.
So
But
we come back, and then you got involved with the American Legion about what year?
so I had been signed up. My mom actually signed me up for the Legion while I was active duty.
Okay.
I think I missed a year or two in there payment. It was around 2008 when the market crashed and everything. I think I signed up almost immediately when I got home, and I'm pretty sure Carl is the one who signed me up, if I'm not mistaken, like re-signed me up. Got involved for a 23-year-old. The Legion was not really what I was looking for at the time, because it was the old guard was just
Right.
would not let go. And your idea is, well, we tried that once, or oh, that's a great idea, and then they do it, and it's like, well, what about me?
Right.
So when I moved to Madison, I didn't know that I let my membership lapse. It was like 5 or 6 years where it was lapsed. And it wasn't until Carl, again at a New Year's party, was like, hey, you're gonna pay your dues? Yeah, well, sure. And then I started driving down from Madison for the meetings, and got more and more involved. And that, surprisingly, that 5-6 years of being away and being a little older and not wiser. I won't say wiser, because I was still younger than 30. So, but I had more of that go get them and I don't care what you think attitude. So I, got put into an officer position as a historian. I will say this, I wasn't very good at it. You would have thought I'd been good at it, but no, not at all. But then all of a sudden I was going to get moved into a vice commander position, and Carl just calls me up. Hey, the guy who was going to be commander just backed out. Do you want to be commander? Sure, why not? So yeah, then I did that for 2 years, and I'm sure I ticked as many people off as I made happy. Didn't really care. I mean, I did. Rephrase, I cared, but again, it's the same thing like with my command. We're gonna start moving into the 21st century, whether we like it or not.
Right.
As commander, that was a fun 18 months, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So the last 6 months I don't think counted. But the I think, June days, I was very involved with a lot of things. I missed a few things more so just because I didn't know any better.
Right.
But I learned so much about the Legion at that time, because you put me in the position, I kind of want to know what I'm doing and talking about. So, and how can I make it better? And are we doing it right? That's a big one to me. And this is, we've always done it that way.
Yes.
That doesn't mean it's right. So, I know I upset the adjutant a couple times. I'm like, well, that's not how it's supposed to be done. Here's the book. But and then I always love when people are like, well, why don't we do this? Well, why haven't we done that for the last God knows how many years? Why are you asking me now like it's my fault?
Right.
I think you saw me get heated a couple times in a meeting where I was just like, where the adjutant literally had to be like, calm down. But
it was good because it moved us forward.
I think so. I think I tried to get the side chatter and the little side groups, like, they're not in control. The executive, committee is in control to a point. Obviously, we have to vote on things, but like, if you need to get things done, it has to go through that.
Right.
It has to go through the meeting. It has to go through. You don't just do it. And I think we got that kind of, not under control, but better. It's better.
Yeah.
And then, I think the first year I went to state convention, and I was like, hey, these writer guys, they look cool. And I see your little, got your sweater on there. Yeah. But I was like, hey, you guys want to do kick off our Memorial Day, or our June Days parade, which is our 4th of July parade. And they're like, hey, come to if you want that, come to a meeting. So I drove from Madison, Wisconsin, all the way out to Union Grove. Right, Union Grove. That's where the meeting is at, right?
They'll go out there.
Yeah. So all the way out there. 14 is not a pleasant drive out there. It's very bumpy. We drove all the way out there to meet at early in the morning for me. I'm a civilian now. I don't wake up early. And just to be like, hey, I would like to invite you guys formally to the June Days parade. And of course they did it, which was awesome. I think they weren't expecting it to be such a short parade.
Well, they made it.
Yeah, they kind of flew through it like it was one of those big parades.
I was part of that, and we made that real short. There were some guys that, as you said, it's quite the hike out there. They wanted to, because they had to hike back. Yeah. And our parade started at 11, so it wasn't like it was. Yeah, so you had to leave early, and then so I had talked with them, and then I think not even like a month later, you and Lonnie had started, I think I started talking with you guys, and got you guys involved. And it's like, well, hey, Legion. Yeah, I would love to see the Legion riders in our post, which I think is if I did anything right, it was making sure you guys felt welcome. Because we most certainly were,
because that has been you guys have been a great boost to our post in every way. The Legion riders, and then of course the usual politics of the small town. Oh, the Legion makes all this money on June days, and
that's funny.
I know, right? So then that whole discussion with the village happened, and I'm kind of happy that I was the face at that point. just for being able to speak clearly and not roughly about things.
You were more politically correct than, say, I would have been. But yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. Because again, I grew up in a small town. You grew up small. You got to live with these people still. Like you still got to be around these people. So yeah, when I went on after the community wanted to do the community group to kind of do the Legion or do the June days, which I thought was great at first until it was, well, we're going to tell you how to do everything, but you're going to still pay for stuff. And it's like, I don't think we're going to do that. Right. Like, we're happy to have you guys do stuff because we've been asking you for 10 plus years to do those things. But no, we're not going to put up, $8,000 to $11,000 at our own risk to then not have any control over what it's being spent on or what we're going to get back.
Right.
So yeah, that was, then it was decided and voted on, hey, we're done. And there's a bunch of, oh man, what's going on? And had to do a press release and went on the radio and definitely, yeah, had to make sure I was being political about it, not mean, because there's a lot of emotion in it and I didn't want that to come through. It was, it was in my head, it was a financial decision for the betterment of the Post and, our programs. Because, you saw the first year you were there, all year long, all we did outside of Dave Abrahamson, all we did was focus on June days. That's all we did.
Yeah.
Like June days and Memorial Day. That's all we did. So, it was kind of a burden for us a little bit because we ran everything. And so I think in the end, it couldn't have worked out better because then the next year it got canceled and I'm pretty sure it won't happen on the scale like they want this year.
No, I don't.
And that would have killed us.
Part of that, that I don't think the just general public understood is, we have an older membership and we set up and tore down, and I wasn't there because I was at work, but they tore down or set up and tore down, and we're talking guys that shouldn't be setting up and tearing down. So
well, and you're absolutely right. I was outside of, I think, Penny and her boy. I always forget his name. Penny's David. I'm really bad with names, so it's not fair. But Penny Bastian's kid, who I shouldn't call a kid because I think he's either my age or older than me, so I really shouldn't call him a kid. But I'm really bad with names, so I apologize if you're watching this. I'm terrible with names. I recognize your face. I'll see you. I'll say hi. But I think we were the youngest ones there.
Yeah.
The rest of the people setting up the fencing and the beer tent and all that were the next youngest would have been Carl,
which is
60s. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still refuse to say he's in his 50s. He's forever in his 50s. It's just how I know Carl. He's in his 50s. Yeah. But yeah. And then you got the next group of people there, and they're late 60s, 70s. I think one of them's close to 80 at this point. That's just ridiculous. And they're rolling out fencing. They're hammering in posts. But that's another thing that I tried to implement while I was there was getting the community involved a little bit more, like putting up the flags, taking down the flags. We were doing that on our own. You get the SAL auxiliary and the Legionnaires, but hey, the community they can help out. And it's when I sent that out that first time, we had the flags up in like a half hour. There's so many people there. So, it's getting the community involved and realizing we live and die by the community.
Right.
And we can't do what we do without the community.
Yeah,
but we can't do what we do for the community without that. So it goes around.
Right.
Right.
Very much so.
But it's partly making sure we ask for help when we need it, and then keep being like, reminding people, hey, we're here, look at what we did.
Yeah.
Which we're very bad at.
We are very bad at self praise and
it seems like some of the older guard doesn't want to do that. They don't want to toot their horn at all. It's like, come on, like we did something really good. like we can give credit where credit is due, but we can also still be like, yeah, hey, we did that.
Right. Yeah, we raised our hand in class and we got called on and we got the right answer. We should get some praise for that, I guess. That's just the cycle I've always kind of lived by. And if you raised your hand, you got the wrong answer, you got to swallow that and admit that you got the wrong answer. So it goes both ways.
Yeah.
And I think moving forward as a Legion, we definitely have to do or keep doing self-promotion, but also promoting our community too when something is wonderful going on within the community. So I'm with you.
Absolutely. So so that was my Legion experience thus far. The last, it's almost been a year since. It's been 9 months since I've been commander. I've moved up into a district position. I'm at the county level, which you're gonna be at the county level soon, I think. We're just gonna keep tacking on things to you. I try to keep things more 21st century communications. I know with the new kid and stuff, this last month and a half's been a little iffy. So thank you for posting stuff. I saw that you've posted a few things. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think I want to get more stuff. I want to do more things, smaller things throughout the year. I think I brought it up. I want to do stuff that's, hey, it's the third Saturday of the month. Is the Legion doing this month? Like I want it, or what's the Legion doing? It's the third Saturday of the month. Legion's doing, are they having chili or spaghetti or steak? What are they doing this Saturday?
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. Because we are kind of the community hall. Mm-hmm. As like right now, I think we're donating the hall space to the Viking youth wrestlers because they didn't have a space. We donate. I know we donate the hall constantly for people to do stuff. Funeral things and whatnot. We are a community organization. We're part of the community. We want to make sure that they understand that, and try to teach the community that we are the American Legion, not the VFW. We're two separate things. Gosh, I don't know. Oh yeah, I was done at the VFW. You were in Janesville? Oh no, in Orfordville. You mean the Legion?
Yeah. Well, in some communities like Broadhead and I think Evansville, I think they are mixed. They're
in the same building. Yeah, they're in the same building.
But,
and a lot of times they're the same people.
Right.
I technically I can't be a part of the VFW because I didn't deploy. Not my fault.
Right.
So yeah, I can't. My mom is, I think, she's the president of the VFW auxiliary in Janesville, but because of her grandfather.
Right.
I can't be. So it's kind of interesting, but yeah, and I think outside of that, it's doing all these things with the community is getting our local veterans, especially the younger veterans,
right,
who maybe were turned away, who are maybe turned away from the Legion, and to understand like we want you back, we want your ideas, and you don't have to come to every meeting. You don't have to do, you don't have to come in and sell tickets at every event we do. But even the littlest thing, and even your membership helps a lot. It makes a big difference. We have people who could be members that are active in other things, but they're not members, and it's unfortunate. We have people who were members that aren't, but still in the community and still active, and it'd just be nice to get them all back, because we need that. We need those people. And yeah, I think, again, tooting our own horn and showing what we do, showing people what we do is going to do that. Because I don't know about you, but when I made the phone calls to people like, well, why would I join the Legion? What do you guys even do? Well, if you don't, I would rather not have to explain it. Is more of a like, oh yeah, you guys do that, and be like, yeah, I want to be a part of that.
Right.
Yep. Like, just like buying your Packer jersey, like, or Bear jersey, if you're a Bear fan. But just being like, hey, I want to be a part of that. Like, I want to feel a part of it, even if I don't do anything. Just being a part of it. That's really what I would like to see people feel pride in that. There's a lot of things that we can do, and I've been trying to get set up, but COVID really screwed a lot of things up that I was working on with the school and oratorical contests and the shooting sport and baseball, and there's a lot of stuff that I had going and then was planning on, but yeah, COVID kind of screwed us up with a lot of the planning of that stuff. So
once COVID's moved on, we will move on with those things, and we'll keep moving forward with more things for more people to be involved in.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, that's one of the reasons I wanted the riders is I thought you guys would be the great addition that you have been, which is great. So it's been nice, to have a different group.
We have tripled in size since then.
Really? I did not know you guys had grown that much.
Yeah.
Legionnaires, or are you guys getting a lot of SAL and auxiliary members?
A little bit of everything. We actually are, I think, the second largest in the district as far as members. McQuantico, I think, has us beat.
Nice.
So we're getting there.
Cool.
We keep working at it so we can keep working for the communities and for the charities and stuff that the Legion gets involved with. So we're there.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome. I did not know you guys had grown that much.
Yeah. Slowly, but we're getting there.
Sweet. But so Legion, I think, it's in the Legion's learned, I think the American Legion, state and has learned a lot of how to deal with not being in person.
Yeah.
We've started posting meetings online and making sure people feel involved, even if they can't make it to the meeting or to the event. Like, even seeing it on Facebook, you're a member of a group and you see it on Facebook, like, hey, we did this thing. It's nice to know what you're doing. So yeah, we just need to keep doing that kind of stuff and growing and moving forward and try to do stuff appealing to, we talk about, how do we get the younger veterans in?
Yeah, a lot.
And I never fully understood it, but obviously with the kid planning things out, you got to make things more family friendly.
Yeah.
we can't be that. What was the Legion? Well, that's where the old guys go to drink.
Yeah.
It can't be that anymore.
No.
Family friendly. So, you do an event, make sure the kids can be involved, because if you get younger vets, a lot of them are, most millennials especially, we're putting off having kids until later on. So
Yeah.
now you have to kind of make sure that hey, we want you to come do this thing. Well, there's something for your kid to do, or there's something for your wife to do, or husband. There's stuff for everyone.
Yep.
And that's something that we struggle with. I've struggled with. I do the car show, and I've been trying every year. I rack my brain. What can I do to get the kids involved? And I got some good ideas for this year. I'm going to try to do some pinewood derby
Nice
stuff.
Yeah.
Thinking about that. Got some Hot Wheel stuff. Thought about doing like a kids like model car show kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And bring your favorite thing, and we'll see. Got a lot of ideas for this year. And we'll have food this year.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
No ifs, ands, or buts. Food this year. That hurt us a little last year. But no, people need to come and see what the Legion is too. Don't just take an experience from 10 years ago and be like, wow. No, come and see what it is now, because it's changed.
It has. And just sit in on a couple meetings and you'll realize that real quick that it's not what you think. It really is.
And if you're a veteran and you're interested, you don't have to be a member to come to a meeting. You can come. You can come to a meeting. Can't vote, but you can come to a meeting.
Right.
Which I think is a great way for anybody to understand or experience, what is this? What are you guys doing? What are you talking about? And what is your plans? And I think, what are your plans? Yeah, are your plans? And I think we can see. I think people can see that we're moving forward.
And the best thing is they may come sit 1-2 meetings and go, you know what, I got a solution for something that they got a problem for, and be able to help them out with an idea that nobody else has thought of yet. So
exactly, that's I think that's something that we miss, and as the old guard has kind of gotten older and not let go of the reins, and this happens every generation. It's not let go of the reins, but realize they can't do everything, or they don't know the solution, that they've started to lean on the younger people who like, hey, well, you know how to do that thing. And I think that's helping a lot. And
I agree.
I'm sure the World War II vets had the same issue with the World War I vets, and it just goes and goes and goes. So it is what it is, and it's just times and things have changed so fast. In the last 20 years, that it's been hard to keep up, and I think a lot of places kind of fell behind. So just a matter of
getting it caught up.
Yep.
Yeah. So anything out there that you would like to advise fellow veterans besides join the Legion?
Besides joining the Legion, don't tell your wife you're doing a meeting for an hour and then be 2 hours later.
Right.
But document everything. Like I said, with your health, care stuff. Keep records for yourself. Stay safe. Stay warm. Everybody who's in Texas right now, I got a couple buddies down there. I feel for you. It's not a fun thing. We're very fortunate to have the infrastructure up here that we do.
Right.
No, Yeah, I'd say if you can't be a part of the Legion, auxiliary or SAL, the Sons, the VFW, what have you, find some local group. I'm also I'm a Freemason, Freemasons. Um, there's so many community organizations, the Lions Club. Get involved with, if you have a kid, get involved with the local Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. If there's, I know that they're fewer in number, but you get involved in those things because that's what makes your community better. That's what makes your community worth being in. They're the ones who kind of drive, your local government does the normal things, but it's the people and the community groups that actually do the things. So get involved, in any capacity, even if it's, posting things, posting and sharing things online, helping out with, donations or ticket sales or what have you, use just through your Facebook. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just get involved.
Yeah, I agree. Alrighty, and for the rest of you veterans out there, just remember, keep your head up and moving forward.